Live from Palmasola Park in beautiful Bradenton, Florida on a Wednesday afternoon, it is the Sarasota Loggerheads against the Manatee Skeeters. Loggerheads first to the bat, starting with Sophia Jin in center, batting second Sophia Mazzola in right, hitting third Alexandra Cuttinelli, the first baseman. Hitting cleanup Lexi Beldowitz at third base. The left fielder Morgan Clark bats fifth. As the pitch here from Liliana Acosta, the Skeeters starter, is upstairs for ball one. Hitting sixth for the Loggerheads, Rebecca Lewis, who's catching. Hitting seventh, Ava Davis, the shortstop. In the eighth hole, Brooke Bachota, the extra hitter, batting ninth. Grazia Mazzola at second base. And the DP, Chloe Nelson, she bats 10th. 2-0 the count to Sophia Jin, the Stanford freshman. On the other end of this inning, Carly George will get the starting nod for the Loggerheads. Loggerheads 2-1 entering this one as the Skeeters are 0-4, searching for their first win of the summer. And Jin yet to swing that bat. It's 3-0. Skeeters pitcher Liliana Acosta has went 4 innings so far this summer, has an 0-2 record, and has allowed 13 earned runs. Jin takes strike one. It's Acosta's third appearance. 3-1 to Jin. She smacks it foul. Loggerheads coached by Danielle Watson-Moore. And the Skeeters, Morgan Costa. Jin sends it to left center, falls for a base hit. Leadoff batter is aboard as Jin turns two, slides into second with a double. Leadoff two-bagger for Jin. That brings up Sophia Mazzola, one of the two Mazzola sisters. Pitcher Acosta, Walter State commit, rising freshman. And she misses high for ball one. That runs inside, gets away. Jin sneaks to third base. First run of the game, 60 feet away for the Loggerheads. Strike one called. Two on, pops high on the left side of the diamond, and it loops out of the field of play. A high strike two. The 2-2 pitch. Works the count full. Ground ball up the middle, stopped by the second baseman, but it's a base hit that scores a run. Jin from third makes it 1-0 Loggerheads. RBI hit for Mazzola. That brings up Alexandra Cuttinelli. Cuttinelli takes the ball outside. Cuttinelli from the St. Mary's College in California in the West Coast Conference. First team all WCC this past year after hitting .313 and 56 starts. Brought home 41 runs for the Gales. High fly ball to left. And gone. 2-run jack for Alexandra Cuttinelli. It's 3-0 Loggerheads in the top of the first. Two-run bomb for Cuttinelli. Still no outs recorded. There's a meeting in the circle for Acosta. Lexi Beldowitz is looming. In the transfer portal after her freshman season at USF. Acosta looking to settle in. Fires a first pitch strike. A 1. Beldowitz, a towering shot to right. George towards the foul line makes the catch. There's the first out of the inning. Brings up Morgan Clark, the left fielder. Clark looking for her new school. She tacks one out to left. Acosta leads one over the plate. And Clark with the 4th hit of the inning for the Loggerheads. Here's Rebecca Lewis, the catcher. In the portal after her freshman season at nearby State College of Florida, Manatee, Sarasota, where she appeared in 26 games. It's a .231 hitter. Watches a pitch go down low. Strike 1. Pitch is high, runner goes, and Clark steals second. Two and 1 the count to Rebecca Lewis, the catcher. Lewis swings and fouls it backwards. The 2-2 on its way. Ball 3. One out in the top of the first. 3-0 Loggerheads after the two-run shot by Cardinelli that was preceded by the Mazzola RBI single. It's a ground ball poked to second. Artanis has it. Sidearm throw to the first baseman Henderson. Pulled her off initially, but she gets that back foot on for the second out. Clark shifts to third base with 2 gone. The 3-2 pitch, or their first pitch, is outside. Ava Davis, the shortstop at the plate for the Loggerheads. Rising freshman committed to Houston Christian, Division I program in the Southland Conference. Sends it on the ground, past the second baseman Artanis. Clark scores. 4-0 Sarasota. Fifth hit of the first inning for the Loggerheads. Hot. Two gone, Davis at first. It's Brooke Pashota, the extra hitter. Junior from UNLV. First pitch shaves the outer half. Ball 2. Another 1-1 to Pashota. Hitting 8th in the Loggerheads order. Liliana Acosta looking to escape the first inning and limit the score into 4. Pashota lines it down the third base line and foul. One, 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Acosta gets her with the rise ball to strike her out for the final out of the first. But the Loggerheads score 4 runs thanks to 5 hits, including a home run off the bat of Alexandra Cuttinelli. No errors in the first, 1 runner left on. Skeeters due up when we return. Bottom of the first, the pitcher for the Loggerheads is Carly George facing the Skeeters order that starts with KB Bradshaw, the center fielder, followed up by Emma George in right. Hitting third, Paige Bashati, the DP. Cleanup duties belong to Juliet Tomolsky in left. Hitting fifth, Tegan Riley at third. Batting sixth, Annalisa Weinberger, the catcher. In the seventh spot, Izzy Henderson at first. Hitting eighth, Sydney Tostarski, the extra hitter. Batting ninth, Lila Tidball, the shortstop. And with the Skeeters sending 10 to the plate, rounding out the order, Olivia Artanis, the second baseman. KB Bradshaw, the center fielder, up in the count 2-0. Carly George, the two-way player for Dodge City Community College, the starter for the Loggerheads. And she induces soft contact here, and the throw from the second baseman, Mazzola, wide of Cutnelli. So an error gets the leadoff base runner at first. Now it's Emma George, the right fielder. So George on George here. Pitches outside, throw back to first base. Not successful. George this season with the Conquistadors hit .346, and in the circle a 2.69 ERA, 22-4 record. Those across 35 appearances, 26 starts, 10 of which were complete games, 135 and third innings pitched, just 52 earned runs, 70 walks to 147 strikeouts. Takes a strike there. Faced almost 600 batters this season. Three won the count to Emma George. Also out of the JUCO ranks at Eastern Florida State College in Melbourne, Florida. She swings through, and that's strike three. Runner steals second. It's Paige Bashati. Bashati out of Division III Ohio Northern University. Bashati 1 for 6 at the plate for the first handful of games this season. Skeeters 0-4 coming into this game. They trail 4-0. Pitch. Strike one. Three-one to the plate. Clips the inside half. Ground ball past the second baseman. Base hit. Bradshaw gets the green light. The throw is cut off. And the Skeeters score in the first as well. That is an unearned run after Bradshaw reached on the error, but an RBI for Bashati cuts the deficit to 3. And it's Julia Tomolsky, the left fielder. First pitch, strike one on the upper part of the zone. Tomolsky 2 for 11. plate. She watches a ball. Ball 2. Ground ball through the legs of the second baseman. Another base runner for the Skeeters. Second error committed by the second baseman, Grazia Mazzola. That brings up the 5-hole hitter, Tegan Riley. First pitch to her flashes outside. There's a strike. Mazzola, the second baseman, should be entering her true freshman season this upcoming year, but instead it will be a redshirt freshman season after she enrolled early and did not play this season with the Washington Huskies. So still a very young player, that second base. It's a 2-1 count to Riley in the 5 spot. Tegan Riley from Lynn University, the Fighting Knights down in Boca Raton, Florida. As she gets ball 4, that loads the bases. Bases are juiced with just 1 out, and timeout taken by Danielle Watson-Moore, the head coach of the Loggerheads. Trying to settle down her starter. And Elisa Weinbarger, she is the winning. Shotty at third, Tomolsky at second, Riley at first. With the catcher from Winthrop at the plate. Weinbarger, a veteran, entering her 5th season of college ball. Had a redshirt year in 2024. The bases are loaded for her. She swings and lines it foul. The tying run is on base at first in the form of Tegan Riley. Weinbarger can do some serious damage here. That skips in the dirt. Great stop by the catcher, Lewis. Ball 2. Harley George rocks and fires. Pitch misses outside and escapes from the catcher, but they get it back to the pitcher, and she's tagged out at home. Bashati down 2-1 at the plate. The pitcher's ball 3, as that is the second out of the frame. The wild pitch moves Tomolsky to third and Riley to second. And there's a spot to put Lisa Weinbarger if she misses here. And that's what happens. The bases remain loaded. A return to that fashion. So second straight walk given out by the Loggerheads starter. Bases loaded once again. This time it's Izzy Henderson at the plate. As they'll Get a courtesy runner at first for Weinbarger. It will be Cochran. Ball 1 to Henderson. Fouls that one away. 2 Walters State commits going at it right now. The 2-1. Henderson takes a strike on the high part of the zone. Tomolsky at third base. Riley at second. At first is Weinbarger. Ball 3. Nowhere to put Henderson, the 7-hole hitter. She takes low, ball 4, bases loaded walk, forces in a run. The tying run now at second. 3 straight walks. Tomolsky scores. Swing and a miss there. Strike 1 to Sydney Totarski. Totarski in the portal. Fouls a pitch back. No balls, 2 strikes. That's outside into the fence. Runners do not move. The 1-2. Totarski flips it in foul territory and it hits the fence. The 1-2 comes home, and it's grounded sharply to first. And it's handled by Cutnelli. She steps on the bag to retire the side. Skeeters score 2 runs thanks to just 1 hit and 2 errors and 3 walks. Bases left loaded. It's 4-2. We go to the second. Top of the second, 4-2 our score with the Loggerheads back to the plate facing Liliana Acosta, who conceded 4 runs in the first inning off of 5 hits, including a home run off the bat of Alexandra Cutnelli. But here's the first pitch to Grazia Mazzola. Mazzola sends it high to center. Bradshaw calls for it, makes the catch to retire the leadoff bat. Now it's Chloe Nelson, the designated player, batting 10th in this Sarasota order. Just finished her second and final season at Dodge City Community College in Kansas, where she hit .354. Nelson takes the pitch high and in. Across her two seasons, .354 hitter, 21 doubles, 3 triples, 6 home runs. As the pitch misses outside. Pitch. 3-0. Ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Nelson, the 10-hole hitter. Back to the top of the order we go. It's Sophia Jin, who led the game off with a double. She then advanced to third on a wild pitch and scored on the Sophia Mazzola base hit. Mazzola's on deck. They get the runner trying to advance. 2-6. 2 gone. Throw to Jin. She takes ball 3. From a family of athletes, Father Daniel played football and baseball at Amherst College. 3-0 to her. Thought it was ball 4. It hits the inside half. (3-1) to the plate. Jin takes ball 4. Tosses the gear. And another base runner for the Loggerheads for Sophia Mazzola. Jin has reached safely her first 2 times up. Sophia Mazzola, the older Mazzola sister, finished her sophomore season at Washington. She swings and lifts off to right. George rotates and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs for the Loggerheads in the top of the second with no hits, no errors committed. Just 1 runner left aboard. With her 1.5, Loggerheads 4, Skeeters 2. Bottom of the second inning, the Skeeters send 9, 10, and 1 to the plate, starting with Lila Tidball, the shortstop. Carly George back in. The Skeeters got 2 runs off of her. Both were unearned, however. George gives out a first pitch strike. Tidball out of Division II Florida Southern in Lakeland. Only played 9 games, had 4 at-bats this season with the Mocs as a true freshman. It's a 2-1 count to the Columbia, Missouri native. A roller, gloved by the pitcher. George throws it, bending a knee, catching it is Cutnelli. Tidball down 1-3. That brings up Olivia Artanis. Artanis from Queens University in the ASUN in Charlotte. Rolls one foul. This season with the Royals, hit 156 in 33 games, 25 starts. Only 1 run batted in. Two on to Artanis. It's ball 3. Strike 3 called. On the outside part, Artanis goes down looking. That brings KB Bradshaw back to the plate. Led off the bottom of the first with a ground ball to second that was misplayed. She reached on an error. Stole second, then came home to score on the Paige Bashati hit. She rolls it foul on the first pitch she sees on her second plate appearance. Bradshaw from App State, beautiful campus in Boone, North Carolina. Down in the count 0-2. Swing and just enough for a foul ball. The 0-2. George pitches high. Ball pops behind the plate, foul. Ball 4, upstairs. A 2-out walk. Bradshaw reaches safely her second time. George, who struck out in the first, she returns to the plate. Throw back to first. Runner's easily safe. George out of Groveland, Florida, and Central Florida. Not all too far outside of Orlando. There's strike one. Ball 4. Back-to-back 2-out walks. Paige Bashati watches the ball. Starter Carly George has now walked 5 batters, and we're not even through 2 innings. Strike is called on the inside half. The 1-1. That misses the zone as well. Ball 3. Carly George issued 3 straight walks with 2 outs in the first inning. A risk of doing it again here. That is, in fact, what happens. Bases loaded again for the Loggerheads. Bradshaw to third, George to second, Bashati to first. And Danielle Watson-Moore wants to talk with her pitcher. Long meeting in the circle here for the Sarasota Loggerheads. They're 2-1 entering this game. That first loss of the year came yesterday to the Manatee Squeeze. That game was a pitcher's duel between Caroline Stanton, who allowed just 1 run in 4 innings, and Sarah Phillips, who pitched 4 no-run innings for the Squeeze. Loggerheads looking for a bounce back today against the winless Skeeters. But Skeeters in another bases loaded situation. Julia Tomolsky, the left fielder, she reached on an error and scored in the first. Still no earned runs given up by the Loggerheads, but that could change here. As this ball poked into the glove of the third baseman, but she just has to eat it, so that does change. It's a one-run game after the infield single. RBI hit for Tomolsky. Brings home Bradshaw, the second run that she scored. Moves George to third, as there's a foul ball. At second base is Bashati. The 2-1 to the plate. Swinging an opposite way fly ball, drops in green grass, base hit. One run is in. A second scores. Runners on both corners after a swing by the Skeeters' 5-hole hitter. Gives Manatee a 5-4 lead. That brings up the 8th batter of the inning. It's Annalisa Weinbarger, the catcher. She flies one out. One and one the count to the Winthrop Eagle. Ball two runs away, and the runner advances. She scores. Tomolsky is home. Riley to second. 6-4 our score in the bottom of the second inning. Weinbarger pops it to the second baseman. She calls everyone off, makes the catch to retire the side. 4 runs in for the Skeeters thanks to 2 hits and 3 walks. They leave one on. It's 6-4 Manatee. To the third we go.
Well, that's a foul ball, and 0-1. We've had a little bit of a switch off here. I'm Tori Basir doing play-by-play, and alongside Brittany Purser. Another foul ball there. 0-2 for Acosta. And Brittany, so far, what have you seen from Acosta in these first couple innings?
I think she's been doing a really good job of attacking hitters, so I think she's getting ahead quite a bit. Starts to get behind once she gets ahead, so I think closing the door is going to be something that's important for her now.
Well, that's going to be foul ball number 3. And standing in for the Loggerheads, we've got Alexandra Cutinelli here from St. Mary's. And that one's going to be foul over there by first base. Now, last time we saw Cutinelli, she hit the 2-run home run in the first.
It does feel like right now Acosta's got some good spin on her ball. I think she's settling in quite well. Looks like she's getting some flares here off the bat, the couple batters.
Now that's a rise ball high. From Cutinelli's last at bat, she knows not to give her anything too close, trying to work up in the zone. Delivers, and that is strike 3. Strikeout here for Acosta, and that's the first out of the inning.
What a great comeback from Acosta, giving up the 2-run home run to her and then coming back and getting her a little offside a little bit and getting her with that strikeout. That's really big.
Yeah, Brittany, I love that adjustment. I think it's so easy, after that big inning that the Loggerheads put up, to get a little bit discouraged, but her team, little by little, took advantage in the box of some of those walks that they were given, and with a couple big hits, they've got themselves back in this thing. That one misses wide.
Yeah, the Skeeters have done a good job of just taking advantage of what the Loggerheads are giving them today. The Loggerheads are going to have to swing the bat well to get back in this. Ooh, close pitch.
Yeah, that one seems to miss wide. Once again, it's that curveball. She's looking for the outside corner. Acosta is. Right now we're seeing number 13, Lexi Beldowitz. And she's going to take that one for ball 3. Lexi in her last at bat, flied out to right field. We've got one down here. Acosta gets set. And that's going to be ball 4. So Brittany, after the first strikeout that we saw, she wasn't able to find it there, trying to move laterally a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a tough break. I mean, having 2 outs on the board, right? We got 2 outs?
Just one with Cutinelli.
So we've got one, and then, coming back from a strikeout and getting a 4-pitch walk, it's a little tough. So she's going to have to fight to get herself out of this one now.
And that one looked good, pulling the string. Not going to get the call. Up the plate with 1 out, we've got Morgan Clark. And she's going to be one of those transfers. Last inning, had a single up the middle to center field and a stolen base. So she's someone that's got a little bit of wheels. Be watching for that. And her last at bat just hit one on a rope right up the middle.
It's a really good spot from Acosta. It's a tough break not to get that pitch.
Yeah, little by little. We've got 2-1 here is the count. Acosta trying to bring it in off that outside edge. Not getting the call right now. A ball off the plate. Here's Clark. And she takes that one for a strike. We're 2-2 with a runner at first.
Doesn't look like we have huge speed at first base, and we do know that the catcher behind the plate for the Skeeters got a great arm on her. So I don't suspect that they'll be stealing on her.
That one's sent out to right center field. It's not tracked down. That's going to go over her head. We've got runners at second and third. Morgan Clark all the way to the wall, standing in with the double. And she is going to send Beldowitz over to third.
She got her hands to that ball so well. I mean, she got to that outside corner and just poked her right into the gap, right over the right fielder's head, who was playing her in as well. So really good job by Clark.
Yeah, it seems like on that outside edge, she saw that ball a little bit deeper, and she knows that the runner in scoring position trying to go backside. So what a job there by Clark with one out. That one's in the dirt.
They're going to need some diving bodies in this infield to try to stop these runs from coming through. Someone's going to have to step up here.
Right now, Weinbarger doing everything she can to keep the ball in front. That last one in the dirt. Acosta trying to pick it up here. That's another ball. Skipped in the sand. And it's going to be a timeout here from Weinbarger, trying to talk to her pitcher and gather in the infield. What do you think she could be saying right here?
I think she's telling Acosta to just calm down a little bit and, let her defense do some work. She came out here and, got an out right away with a strikeout, and she just telling her to kind of get back to who she was when she started this inning. I think she's getting a little nervous, and yeah, so she's just telling her to calm down a little bit, let her defense work behind her.
Yeah, they'd love a pop-up in the infield. We know Acosta, she's thrown the ball up a little bit. Maybe see a rise ball here against Rebecca Lewis. Lewis, last time, up to bat. Ground ball out to second base. We've got second and third. And one out here.
Ground ball to second base right now would score a run with Olivia Artanis playing a little deeper in the infield.
Well, Brittany, it looks like she might be trying to punch it that way. And with the curveball that we've seen from Acosta, if that pitch is on the outside corner, she's just going to want to go with it. Timing her up, Acosta delivers. And that one, again, is going to miss the outside edge.
I'm surprised that they are working her away right now. Doesn't seem like they're trying to go in and jam her up at all to try to keep that runner on third base. And that's they get.
Well, they try to tie her up there, but it's going to go through the infield, out the center field, and drive in a run. Rebecca Lewis over the head of the shortstop, and that's going to be an RBI for the Loggerheads.
It's just really unlucky. I mean, Acosta really did jam her up on that pitch. She's strong enough to poke it right over the shortstop's head.
Well, now we're second and third. 2 runners in scoring position for Acosta, still sitting at 1 out. The RBI just delivered from Lewis. Got Davis at the plate, off the left side. Just squared to bunt, and we saw the corners crashing a little bit. She's got plenty of speed at the plate, so I think we could expect a little bit of small ball here from the Husky. Lays this one down. Third base has got it. We got an out at first. She's trying to go back to third base to get Clark. Not in time, but that's going to take the Skeeters to 2 outs.
A tough break on that. I feel like if they might have just sent her home and played out a squeeze on that, they might have got the go-ahead run on the board.
Well, now it's another lefty here for the Loggerheads. This one's Brooke Pashota from UNLV. Standing in as the extra hitter. You can see her behind the backstop. And that one floats in just a little bit high for Acosta. Pashota gets a hold of that one, sends it up the middle on a line. That's going to take 2 more runs in for the Loggerheads. They're not done here yet.
Yeah, that one just leaked a little too much over the plate, and she took advantage of it.
Yeah, nice hands there by Pashota up the middle. Loggerheads able to extend the inning. Acosta trying to find the corners of the plate. Get the ball down on or off speed. Got a stacked hitting bunch here for the Loggerheads. That one in the dirt. Weinbarger checks the runner over at first. It's Pashota.
Weinbarger's been doing a great job behind this plate. I mean, she's throwing runners out. She's got a cannon back there. She's just blocking up balls and she's doing everything she can to help her out.
Foul ball back to the backstop. This one lifted out to center field. Will it go? And it does! Grazia Mazzola, the left-handed slugger. It hits the top of the yellow, and that one's gone.
It looked like an off-speed, too, and she sat on that really well, almost like she was expecting that pitch to come in. Just absolutely demolished that ball on a line to outfield to left.
Mazzola from Washington took that ball a mile, and we've got some really high fences out here on this field, so she did some damage with that pitch. And when she came in, she got the honorary turtle shell put on her back. You know, Brittany, I love the little gimmicky things that each one of these teams are doing to be unique and different. Having a lot of fun, especially with these, you know, goofy uniforms and things. I
Oh, yeah.
just love that they're having fun here in summer ball.
I mean, they're doing so many cool things. We've got the snowbirds that are coming out with coconuts and coconut water and putting sunscreen on their nose. Some really cool stuff. And I know the Slice, we've got an orange that we're wearing. We've got an orange chain that we're putting on for our home run. So they're just out here having a good time. It's exciting to see them just enjoying the environment.
So Acosta here in the third inning, being battle tested. And the umpire behind the plate is going to say that that one misses off the edge here to the lefty.
You know, this is going to be so good for Acosta. You know, she's just just graduated high school, going into college, her freshman season next year, going in August to Walter State. This is just good for her to go out there and see what she's made of in tough situations. And she's hopefully going to get better throughout the summer. And this is just a great environment for her to learn and grow.
Well, she made the adjustment there with the backdoor curveball, getting one on Chloe Nelson, but that one, a ball on the outer half again, and it's going to take us to 3-1. Nelson here from Dodge City.
Another really close pitch that's not being called.
Nelson sits on that one, and it's going to be foul. Not in play over here on the left side. Now we got a full count. And that's a 2-out walk here for Acosta. Sends Nelson over to first base. And that'll turn the lineup over as we are once again going to see Stanford Sophia Jin. Sophia with a double in the first and a walk and her second at bat. She's going to take that for ball one. Again, runner at first, 2 outs for Acosta. She delivers, and that one's going to miss outside.
Seems like when the Loggerheads barrel up these balls, it's really going up the middle. I'm surprised that these outfielders in left field and right field are playing so tight to the lines.
Now it's going to be a called time. Head coach of the Skeeters coming out to talk to Acosta in her infield. And you talked about where the outfielders are positioned right now. I have to agree with you, Brittany. We're seeing George, Riley. No, I'm sorry. That's going to be Bradshaw, Tomolsky in the outfield, and George.
Yeah, I see the corners of these outfields just playing shallow and tight to the lines, and that's just not really where the Loggerheads have been hammering. And I'd expect them to make an adjustment and move further into those gaps and deeper towards the fences. Probably could take away some hits if they just adjusted that part of their defense.
Well, the Loggerheads, they've been on it, especially this inning. With 2 outs, they've put on a few. It's the leadoff Jin in the left side. Acosta going at her here. Called strike. Like seeing Acosta here going inside with that curveball to the lefties. This one hit over to first base. And it's going to be in time. That's going to finish out the inning, the third. The Loggerheads. Some action here in the third inning. Got a 9-6 ball game here in favor of the Loggerheads. That first pitch was a ball. This one fouled off. It's Izzy Henderson from Walters State. Izzy in her last at bat walked. Fouled off again. And it's Carly George for another inning on the mound. This one up and out. George with the curveball. Caught Henderson looking.
And that would have a little bit of extra on it. She got that one in there. That was a great pitch.
Yeah, snap that curveball across the hip, across the plate. That's going to be the first out for the Loggerheads. A strikeout looking. This one out to second base, and that's going to be out number 2. Sitarski retired. And that's going to be 2 outs for Carly George.
It really looks like Carly George is relying on that curveball on both sides of the plate. She's got that backdoor curve coming in on the righties and then hammering it on that outside corner beautifully.
This one back up the middle to George.
Snags that ball beautifully up the middle. Hard hit ball, but she takes care of it.
Well, it's going to be a 1-2-3. Carly George taking it herself on that third out, and it looks like she's been doing her PFPs. We're going to stay still here, 9-6 going into the 4th. We're back here in the 4th. Got a little bit of a pitching change here for you. It's Addison Fry on the mound from Providence. Number 8 in the circle. And she's going to be starting off against Sophie Mazzola from Washington. Mazzola on the left side. It was her sister Grazia in the last inning with the 2-run home run, taking the Loggerheads up 9-6.
Yeah, Addison Fry is another pitcher who's going to attack you with that curveball on both sides of the plate. So we're going to see it off the plate to the lefties and also inside to them.
Fry delivers the 2-1. This one smoked foul over to the Loggerheads dugout. Mazzola, 1 for 2. A base hit in her first at bat and brought in Sophie Jin for the first run of this ball game. Flied out to right field in her last at bat. And this one, another foul ball to the left side. Pretty good looking pitch there, Brittany.
It sure was. If it missed it all, it missed by an inch, maybe. Beautiful backdoor curve.
And that's going to be strike 3 for Carly George, retiring Mazzola.
And that is just another curveball, this time going into the batter, and she gets her swinging. Great pitch, great movement.
I'll tell you what, coming out with pitching change, first batter you see from Power 4 Washington, Sophie Mazzola. She's been good all summer so far. Carly George, what a great job coming into the circle, taking command. Now we've got one down.
Love how she goes right back at this batter, gets a strike right off the bat off a foul ball. Really attacking these batters, doing a great job.
And in the box, it's going to be number 12, Alexandra Cutinelli. Alexandra in the first inning with the 2-run homer. That one's going to be fouled off. Struck out swinging in her last at bat. Got a ton of power off of this bat. And now she's battling with 2 against Carly George, who struck out Mazzola. Not a good looking pitch over the plate, maybe a little bit high. Now we got 2-2. Blooper out to first base. It's going to be 2 pretty quick outs here for the Skeeters. They were needing a little bit of life in the circle. Carly George being efficient and effective in the first couple of batters that she sees.
You know, Tori, I've just really enjoyed watching Fry in the circle. We played against her with the slice, and she did a great job against us. And every time I'm out here watching her, she is just very dominant. She's getting these batters off balance and really attacking them with every pitch that she's got. Really good movement. She's helping her team a lot out in the circle.
Yeah, I apologize. I said George there. That's for the Loggerheads. It's in the circle, like you said, Addison Fry from Providence. Ground ball into the 5-6 hole. Off of the glove of the shortstop. And that's going to be a hit.
And that'll be the first hit off of Fry. Great effort by the shortstop.
Over at short, it's Lila Tidball, who just went over into the 5-6 hole. Giving it everything that she could, laying out, trying to stop that ball. Nothing that she could do about that one. It's going to be 1 hit for the Loggerheads. This one's sent out of play. And it's Morgan Clark at the plate, who has had an absolute day. Morgan Clark in her first at bat. A single up the middle, stole a base. And then her second at bat, another RBI. It was a double to right field. Peppering it all over the field here. And Fry's going to try to go on that inside corner. Called a ball. 2-1 here, runner at first. Fry goes with the curveball on the outside edge. This one sent back out of play by Morgan Clark. Clark battling at the plate right now. Clark with 2 strikes. Sees this curveball, a ball on the outside edge, and that one's close. Clark, like I said, couple of RBIs already today. Looking to see where she's going to go next, but man, has she been on fire. And we've got a stolen base, but it's ball 4. So she broke on the pitch, but now we've got runners at first and second on the walk.
Looks like everybody was confused on that play. So Fry comes out and gets the first 2 outs and then lets the next 2 get on board.
Gonna see what she can do here with Lewis. Rebecca Lewis from SCF, fouling this first one back.
SCF had a pretty good year this year, went to the World Series.
Yeah, it's not a bad year going to the World Series. Nice little trip. This one sent out to right field. It's going to be a breadbasket catch for out number 3. And it's going to stay the same here as the Skeeters come up to the plate. Welcome back to the bottom of the fourth. It's still 9-6 Loggerheads. Up to the plate, it's Olivia Artinas, who, Brittany, you know her pretty well.
I do. I actually recruited her out of high school. She actually played at West Broward High School, where my mother, she actually teaches there. So knew her pretty well, kept up with her a lot. She went to Queens University, back in the portal now.
She's going to take the ball in the dirt there. Carly George on the mound once again for the Loggerheads. Already made it through a few. This one inside. And we haven't seen George really lose her consistency, but starting off this inning, the fourth, a little bit shaky. Finds it back over the plate.
Olivia's got some speed at the plate. If she can put the ball in play, she gives herself a chance to get on base.
2-2. George delivers. And that's going to be strike 3 for Carly George.
Second strikeout against Artanis. Looks like she's got her number today.
Yeah, the last one you mentioned, strikeout looking, caught her with the curveball. This time swinging. It's going to be one down for the Loggerheads. And the lineup turns over. It's going to be number 10, Kendall Bradshaw. Bradshaw from App State, 2 runs scored today. Been a menace on the base pass as well. Stolen base in the first. Getting herself on with the walk in the second. And George pulls the string, the changeup we haven't seen much today, finds the outside corner. 1-2 from George.
Bit of a questionable call on that last changeup. A little bit up in the zone. Could see her shaking her head up there.
Yeah, that's one if you're Bradshaw, you got 1 strike and you're looking at it, you know, probably not going to be able to do much with that one. Now she's timing her up with 2, trying to battle here. She's going to see that one down in the dirt.
I think these Skeeters need to be a little bit more patient as the innings go on. Looks like George is just getting a little bit more inconsistent.
Bradshaw full, and it's going to be through the 3-4 hole out to right field. The first hit of the inning for the Skeeters, and it's Kendall Bradshaw from App State. Up comes to the plate Emma George from Eastern Florida State.
This is a great job by Bradshaw. She's bringing some speed and power into the lineup for the Skeeters. She's going. She's going to be safe in there again. Just like I said, so much speed out there, so much power at the plate. I mean, she can hit singles and home runs. She can run the bases. A lot of what I talk about is if you're hitting singles, how are you getting to second base? And she shows it right there.
Now she's in scoring position. George delivers. This one's going to be called inside for a ball. Like you said, Bradshaw has been doing it in every aspect of the game today. Her second stolen base. Putting herself into scoring position for Emma George. And that one's called a strike. We've got 2-1.
Eastern Florida, another junior college that went to the World Series this year. Just played in some big games, coming off a great run.
Yeah, Brittany, junior college is representing pretty deep here in the Florida Gulf Coast League. And they've been competitors. You gotta love it. A lot of them, you know, just grinding through some of those long seasons. Got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They're looking to get themselves to the next level. This one, a walk from George. And Emma's going to take her base. We've got first and second for the Skeeters. And they are threatening. We've got the tying run here at the plate. for Paige Bishotti.
Well, like you said, Tori, these junior college athletes, that's going to get by. Bradshaw's going to get herself another stolen base. You know, these junior college athletes are doing a great job out here. If we don't mention it, they just be keeping up with everybody else out here. And we've got some pretty big name program girls out here as well. Just doing a great job of playing right along with them.
George, the wild pitch. They're going to advance second and third, excuse me. 2 runners in scoring position threatening here for Paige. Had a single to right field, an RBI in her first at bat, and that would do the job to bring in 2. She's staying patient here, 3-0. Scored last inning on the walk. And that one's right down central.
Love the fact that the Skeeters have made George pitch more. Just being patient up there in the box, really waiting for their pitch.
You're going to see pitch selection from Paige, like you said, being patient. And the one thing, you know it best being a coach, the way to chip away at a lead like this, down 3, is to be patient, find a pitch to drive out to the green, and now we're full. Paige fouling this one off, staying alive.
She's fighting in there, and like you said, just trying to chip away at the lead, and a little does a long job here. It's just a single through the infield could score 2. Cut their lead. And she'll take a walk.
Yeah, now bases loaded. And it's going to be Danielle Watson-Moore to call the timeout. A pitcher at Florida State herself, made an appearance in AAU. Played some professionally since then, and she's going to make the change. She, more than anyone, knows when it's time. And we're going to see a different pitcher here for the Loggerheads. With bases loaded, those 3 runners on, going to tie this ball game. They threaten, so she's making the change here, Brittany. What do you think?
I think it's a good thing. I think Danielle's making a great decision here. You could see that George was just losing her consistency out there and bringing in a new look and seeing if these Skeeters can come up with the same mindset that they've been having, just being patient and looking for their pitch. We've now got the tying run on base and the go-ahead coming up to the plate.
Well, that new pitcher, that switch you're talking about, we're going to see Sydney Jackson, number 14. Sydney Jackson from Syracuse. Played 2025 and 2026 for the Big Orange, and now on the mound. And a pretty tight spot here, up 9-6, but got bases loaded. She's had 40 strikeouts in that career at Syracuse. Posted a 3.23 ERA. She had 31 appearances, but she has been an arm for the Loggerheads that they've trusted to come in when things get tight.
Even through her warm-up, Tori, you can see she's got some upspin on the ball. I can guarantee you she's trying to get a swing and miss or a pop-up right now. Got the defense playing normal. Everybody playing regular depth. She's going to swing at the first pitch, and that might drop, and it does. That's going to bring in a run. Brings in just 1, and the bases stay loaded.
This one just a blooper over third base.
And just found the perfect spot on the field. No man's land out there, and that'll put a run up.
Yeah, Skeeters bringing in 1. Closing in on that lead. We're sitting 9-7 now. All runners still on board.
Off-speed pitch just came in, and that was gorgeous.
Jackson has shown that she can pull the string on the changeup from Cypress, Texas.
She goes back to back there, doesn't get the swing on that one.
That one's staying a bit low. And up to the plate for the Skeeters, it's number 9, Tegan Riley. It's bases loaded.
Now, Tegan Riley was in the league last year. Big hitter. She can come up here and easily get the go-ahead with one swing of the bat.
Well, with one swing of the bat in the second inning, she had 2 RBIs, a single to right field. That same result right now would score at least 2 runners, and we've got some speed on board.
She competed in the home run derby last season for the FGCL. She's going to whip through that off speed.
Well, you said it. That's a good-looking off speed that we're seeing from Sydney Jackson.
I don't know if Jackson's going to give her anything good to hit, knowing Tegan's power. And she doesn't. That's going to be off the plate and bring in another run.
Yeah, that's a curveball, about 2 balls off the plate. And the Skeeters just within 1 now. It's 9-8. Sydney Jackson coming in for relief of Carly George in this inning.
We've got the tying run on third base now, and the go-ahead is in scoring position.
That's strike 1 to Tidball. Lila Tidball. Back to the pitcher in her last at-bat.
She really is utilizing that off speed, and it's catching them off guard. Doesn't look like anybody's seeing it very well.
This one popped up and out of play for Tidball. Jackson getting ahead early in this count. Skeeters just within 1. And Brittany, you've said it. We've got the tying run at third base. Go ahead at second. Bases loaded. Delivers. This one is back up the middle. And it's a wild throw. The Skeeters taking advantage. They're going to score. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game.
Some weird spin off the bat. I think that George just didn't know how much time she'd have coming home and tried to get rid of it too quickly. Didn't have a hold of that ball the way that she wanted to.
Yeah, Sydney Jackson coming in a bit of a pinch. Has not been able to get some outs. That ball back up to the middle. It looked like it was pretty spinny off of the bat. I mean, anything that she's throwing, you're going to see pretty good spin rate on it. So when these balls are hit, it's going to be tough to field, especially when you're a pitcher. That throw, not close.
Yeah, and my apologies, Toria Jackson in the circle making that play. I said George.
Oh, it's okay. George, our starter for the day. With all the changes, it's tough to keep up with all of these girls. But Jackson trying to get herself out of a pinch. And another off-speed nasty.
And that changeup is just diving down through the zone, and they're not picking it up at all.
That's strike 3.
She's been back-to-back with that changeup 2-3 times in a row. It doesn't matter. They're not seeing it, so she keeps throwing it.
Izzy Henderson retired. And now we have Sydney Tatarski up to the plate. Bases loaded.
A 4th changeup in a row, Tori. Man, she is not giving up on that pitch. She's going right through, right back at him with the same pitch, expecting the same result.
Got a tie ball game here. And she gets in there. Safe is the go-ahead run. That's number 4 for the Skeeters.
I can't help but think, Tori, 4 changeups in a row, comes back with some hard stuff, didn't have control of it, gets away from the catcher. You know, I think going to those changeups so many times, going back to that hard pitch, Just didn't have the control that she wanted. That'll be another changeup. Down in the dirt for a ball. So out of 6 pitches, Tori, she's thrown 1 hard pitch.
Trying to use the off speed. Runners at second and third. Go ahead run for the Skeeters. Just crossed the plate if you missed it. Sydney from St. John's. Usually see her at a number 9, 13 for the Skeeters. This one goes a long way, but it's going to be an out in center field.
She sat on that changeup well. She was expecting it, now seeing it so many times with the Skeeters. She sits on that ball really well, but gets held up by the wind, and that'll be the 3rd out.
Well, it was Sydney Jackson who came in for relief, but now the Skeeters on top by 1 going into 5th.
You guys.
First pitch sent out to left field. Making a great track out in left for the Skeeters. That's Julia Tomolsky down the line.
I'll tell you what, Tori. I mean, Addison Fry coming out in the circle, she really has breathed some life into this Skeeters team. They've come out fighting for her, making great defensive plays, having great at-bats at the plate. She's just breathing some life into them right now.
Breathing some life indeed, and now we're 1 out in the top of the 5th. And it's Brooke Pashota up to bat from UNLV. Fry delivers, and that one's going to be called off the plate for a ball. These pitchers not getting a ton out on the edge, about half a ball off the plate. Fry gets it past Pashota on that one.
That backdoor curve is just moving so well for her. Really attacking batters with that pitch. That'll be another one. Just misses slightly.
Yeah, that's a backdoor curveball that you're talking about. Trying to bring it back over the outside edge. Got 3 balls on the bat of Pashota now. Trying to find. And she does. That one, strike 2 past Pashota. 2 swing and misses.
She actually crossed her catcher up on that pitch. Looked like they were trying to go away. It came back in. It actually worked out in her favor. I'd go back to that.
And finding the edge, the swing and miss. It's going to be Addison Fry We've got 2 down here for the Skeeters, and now that they've got the lead by 1, they're hanging on to it.
Yeah, Tori, and instead of going back in with the curveball that she got the swing and miss on, she actually went back to the backdoor curveball. Got the same result anyway and got a strikeout out of it.
Now with 2 outs for the Loggerheads. Bringing to the plate Grazia Mazzola. Don't forget about Grazia here. Just a couple innings ago, it was her 2-run home run to do some damage for the Loggerheads, give them the lead. They posted 9-6, and the Skeeters since then just been inching back, now lead by 1. Fry trying with that backdoor curveball, missing again on the edge. And we're 2-1.
Knowing what kind of power is Lay's at the plate right now, could see her trying to get her to bite a little bit off the plate. That one she has to come back over, gets a foul ball on it.
Yeah, that one over the white just a bit. Want to definitely be careful with Mazzola, like you said. Standing in from Washington. Fry's going to be careful with her. She's got 2 strikes on her, goes back out. Trying to get her to chase off the edge. And we've got a full count. 2 down for the Skeeters, leading 10-9. And that's going to be strike 3. Mazzola had the 2-run home run, but Fry coming in to retire 3 Loggerheads. They're going to keep the lead, and we're going into the bottom of the 5th. Well, it's 10-9 Skeeters in the bottom of the 5th. Still in the circle is Sydney Jackson, who came in for Carly George in relief. George went through the first few. Jackson coming into a bit of a pickle, bases loaded. George put him there, but the Skeeters came back from a 9-6 deficit, now have the lead 10-9.
These Skeeters hitters really could come in and just sit, change, and really expect 1 to 2 changeups in at bat. And she doesn't, but she'll rip that. And that'll be down She's going to take 2 on that. She might be looking 3, and she won't. She'll stop at 2. And that'll be a lead-off double.
A stand-up double for Lila Tidball, number 6. She had grounded out to the pitcher, but getting every bit of that one.
Could really see Olivia dropping down a bunt right now, moving her runner, using her speed. She doesn't show it there. Big lead by Tidball at second.
Watching the first one for a strike, you can tell Tidball looking at her coach, trying to see if that's a possibility, wondering if they're going to fake bunt here, try to force the base runner. She won't. She stands in, swings away. That's Artanis.
Tidball taking that big lead at second, really testing to see if that shortstop's going to come over and cover third base. She will.
This one up and out for Sydney Jackson. And like Brittany mentioned, shortstop, second base, here for the Loggerheads, knowing that they do not want to give up another run, so keeping an eye on the runner Tidball. Jackson delivers. This one on the outside edge. The lead on second base for Tidball just seems to be getting bigger and bigger.
It really is, Tori, and I'd be checking her back if I was the catcher for the Loggerheads right now. I'd be coming out.
Right now playing it conservatively, but
And
taking the risk there on the throw. Kind of figured, testing her like that. Throws behind her. That ball's not caught.
And that'll be the third strikeout for Artanis today. Looks like we've got Bradshaw back up at the plate. Someone who can come in and really do some damage, put another run on the board right now.
Sydney Jackson for the strikeout against Artanis. Runner at second in scoring position. Tries to find it there. Going to be called a ball. It's the leadoff, Kendall Bradshaw. Takes a big cut on that one. Stepped into it on the outside edge. And Bradshaw, she's had a day, 2 runs scored. Been a good start to the Skeeters offense. Takes that ball.
And that big cut, Tori, she missed just under. See if she can make an adjustment, get her hands on top, and drive this ball.
Yeah, you have to think Brittany. She gets a hold of that one. Top half of the ball going backside. That's going to be destruction and probably another run scored. Tries to sit on that one. Another swing and miss.
Still missing underneath these pitches. See if she can make the adjustment for the third strike.
Jackson with a little bit of stink on it right now.
I mean, that changeup is just so dirty. She throws it again, misses up.
Why not, right? Try a few out. This one misses. That's going to be ball 4. Bradshaw has had a day, been super selective. That's going to be her second walk of the day. And now the Skeeters have first and second here in the 5th.
It's not the worst thing for Jackson to put Bradshaw on base right now. She's been swinging a hot bat at the plate and had first base open. She gets put on base, not intentionally, but won't do much damage for Jackson in the circle.
Now to the plate, it's the 2-hole Emma George from Eastern Florida State. George struck out once in this ball game, but it wasn't to Jackson. It was from the starter from the Loggerheads, Carly George. She's going to see that one down. And another big lead for the Skeeters at second base. this inning, we've got Brooke Pashota for the Loggerheads, the battery mate for Jackson. This one fouled off and out of play. Brooke Pashota was our extra hitter here from UNLV. Now she's the backstop for the Loggerheads. That one in the dirt. Pashota hops up. Good stop by Pashota. Runners at first and second, keeping them at bay. Got a full count for Sydney Jackson.
Tidball's got some decent speed at second. She's really putting some pressure on. And that ball's going to hit through the 5-6. And they're going to send Tidball. She's going to go. And she's going to get in there on the hook slide. And that ball gets away. That's going to bring in another run. And she's going to go home. And we're going to see a throw to the plate. And that's going to be a Little League in-park home run.
The wheels on the bus falling off for the Loggerheads. But aggressive base running here pays off for the Skeeters. That was a big lead from Tidball. She was the first to score. 2 came in after her. And you gotta love that as soon as they saw that ball in the wall, there was absolutely no doubt about it. Nice third base coaching.
Yeah, Kostler definitely could have held Tidball at third. I mean, the ball wasn't hit very hard to left field, and she didn't. She sent her, and when that happened, it just led to chaos afterwards. Throws getting awry all over the field. It's going to end up scoring 3 with a Little League home run.
Strike in there for Jackson.
You got to think, Tori, at some point, you just sacrifice the run and then hold the ball. The throws have really gotten the Loggerheads into some trouble. That's going to be a spinny ball back to Jackson. She'll play it, and that'll be an out.
Nice little PFP there for Jackson after chaos ensued. Skeeters scoring 3. Little 2-out chaos. But now Sydney Jackson trying to find it back on the mound. Gonna deliver this to Paige Bishotti.
You know, Jackson not really doing a bad job in the circle. She's getting very unlucky. Some hits getting through. She's given up some walks as well. That's really been her Achilles heel this afternoon. She's got to get ahead, stay ahead, and really let her defense work for her. Although in the last one, her defense didn't help her out all that much.
Yeah, it's definitely been the extra bases, the free bases for the Loggerheads today. The Skeeters taking advantage. Loggerheads, quite the lineup they've got. They've been hitting the ball hard today too. But giving up some free bases that have brought on runs. And that's going to be another one. A walk for Jackson.
And that's another walk that's going to bring up Tegan Riley. She's just a great hitter for the Skeeters, probably their best on the staff. And you come to think she's coming up, ready to make a big swing, has a lead with her team, nothing to lose up here. And she will hit that ball. Great diving play by the third baseman, but she won't get her at second.
So Tomalski, after being walked, gets herself over to 2. Tegan Riley is going to be the fielder's choice. It was Lexi Beldowitz with that play. Now we got 2.
I don't know if the third baseman thought she just didn't have enough time. I think she could have made that throw to first base and gotten Tegan Riley. Got less speed from Tegan than you do from the runner in front of her, number 4. Ball got hit pretty hard. to that third base hole.
It's going to be strike there for Jackson. Loggerheads still trying to find another out.
Yeah, 2 outs, and they find themselves in another position with a runner in scoring position. That's going to go through the gap. That's going to score at least one. Got a runner, Tegan Riley, coming to third base, and she's going to get in there safely with an awkward slide, but gets in there and makes it happen. We've got first and third now with 2 outs.
That's Annalisa Weinbarger with the RBI and the base hit. Ball rocketed to right center field, and she's going to bring in another one.
We've got Olivia Artanis. My apologies, no. Number 2 is going to stay out there and run for herself. Got Izzy Henderson up at the plate.
Takes this one for a ball. Got runners at first and third, and it's going to be Brooke Pashota, the catcher, to go check on her battery mate. Talk things over with Sydney Jackson. Wanting to get out of this inning here. Giving her a little bit of encouragement in the circle. Weinbarger has walked before in this game in the first inning.
Izzy had a strikeout in her last at-bat on an off-speed by Jackson. We're going to see if they'll attack her with that off-speed again. See if Izzy can make that adjustment.
And, I'd say as much as Jackson's been throwing that off-speed, that we could see her pull the string in this at-bat. So Weinbarger looking to sit on something. Got first and third.
The runner's going, and they're going to throw it all the way through. They're not going to get her. That ball's going to get stuck underneath. Tegan Riley decides on third base not to go.
She's going to go to 2 on that one. Now we've got second and third. 2 runners in scoring position after that stolen base. A swing and a miss for Izzy Henderson on the last one. Jackson coming back with it. This time, Henderson way back, fouling it off, staying alive. And you can hear the action from the Skeeters dugout cheering her on, trying to survive another pitch in this bat.
She's going back to back with those changeups. Expect it again. She does, and she'll get the swing and miss again from Izzy Henderson.
Well, it's the off-speed that does it. It's the main one in Jackson's arsenal. But not after the Skeeters put on another few runs. And now we're going to go into the 6th.
God, my face is melting off.
It's a hot one, Brittany. It's okay. It's a hot one. It's a long one. We're 14-9, a combined 23 runs in this game so far. We're still in the sixth.
Florida Heat getting to everybody out here. We've got a long game out here on field 1.
The Skeeters up 5 after the last inning.
That'll be a great pitch by Fry.
Brittany, you called it a Little League home run. Some overthrows and a few brought in the park home run. And now the Loggerheads, they've got quite the feed in front of them, going to try to come back from this 5-run lead. And it's Addison Fry.
Those backdoor curveballs are just so dirty to left-handed batters. Looking like they're way off the plate, and they come back on. And great play by the shortstop. Good pickup by Izzy Henderson, and that'll be out number 1.
Fry delivered to the 1-2, and that's going to be an out over at first from the shortstop. Turning over to the top of the order, and once again, it's going to be Sophia Jin.
Got quite a few Stanford girls out here. I've got one on the slice with me, Jordana King, and that's going to be popped up, and the catcher is going to make the pitcher is going to make that catch. What a great job by Fry. Being ready, a little PFP out there. Doesn't need to make a throw, just comes on out of the circle. Makes a great defensive play for herself.
Well, the Skeeters go crazy. The pop-up back to the pitcher, Fry. She fields it nice and clean. Love the little PFP action out there.
The energy from her defense is just so awesome to see. You know, these girls, they met less than a week ago, so seeing them out here and just loving on each other and hyping each other up, it's really cool to watch.
Well, everyone knew that it was going to be a tough road ahead of them. Going up against the Loggerheads, they've got quite the stacked offense, but the Skeeters putting together some runs, and so, yeah, I mean, why not? Have fun, celebrate. And Addison Fry, she's been solid. It's going to be another ball to Sophie Mazzola.
Got a lefty catcher behind the plate. You wonder almost if she's going to get some more calls on that outside corner pulling across.
That lefty catcher that you're talking about, that's Paige Bashotti, who was our extra hitter, actually our DP, and now she's behind the plate. Paige from Ohio Northern. And Mazzola fouls off another one.
She's had some really good at-bats today. Long at-bats, not always leading to a great result, but really getting all the pitches she can get.
Yeah, this one, 2-2. Had a single and an RBI, the first one of the game, back in the first. Mazzola drove in Sophia Jin.
Can see Mazzola taking a step forward. I wonder if she's doing that to try to stop the break on those curves. And it's not a slap, it's just a step up in the box, really trying to get the break right before it breaks.
Yeah, that screwball has quite a bit of tail on it. From the righty, Addison Fry, breaking at least a ball off of the plate. And you can see, standing in, Mazzola trying to time her up. This one's going to be a ball. And Mazzola, the first runner on base here for the Loggerheads. Trying to start something in the sixth. They're going to need a few.
The Loggerheads offense, once you get them going, it's really hard to stop them. So Fry's going to have to do a really good job right now of coming back. And she does. She gets ahead with the first pitch strike on a foul ball. We were talking earlier, Tori, about the outfield for the Skeeters playing the lines. I actually don't mind it with Fry. It looks like they've been kind of flaring some balls off the bat and into that right field. It's probably going to work out pretty well for the Skeeters now.
Probably playing pretty deep on it. Alexandra Cutinelli, who back in the first had that 2-run home run. Plenty of power behind this bat. Coming off of a season at St. Mary's. Swings hard and takes this one foul. Over to the Skeeters dugout. Got 2 down.
Tori, it seems like she's timing her up really well right now. I wonder almost if Fry's going to come back with a changeup or an off-speed of some sort.
The 0-2.
And she does. Almost gets her, but she doesn't.
Well,
or maybe she does.
They said she offered. That was the 0-2. Changeup in the dirt. Yep, called offer, sends that one over to first, and that's going to be out number 3 for the Loggerheads. And you can chalk that one up as a strikeout. And
I mentioned it, Tori. I thought that was a great idea to go to the changeup. They're going to get her on the appeal down to our umpire out in the field, but that was a great pitch call.
And we're going to go bottom of the 6th. It's 14-9 in favor of the Skeeters. Skeeters coming up to bat. First pitch delivered by Jackson. And she's going to wear it. Going up the baseline, that's Tatarski starting the inning. And now we're going to see Lila Tidball, number 6 from Florida Southern, been the shortstop for the Skeeters today. And she's going to go. A stolen base for Tatarski.
It's a great throw by the catcher. Just didn't have anybody there to catch the ball, but it was on a dart. Would have had her, too.
Brooke Pashota with the throw. It was on a line, nobody at second. Now we've got a runner at 2 for the Skeeters. And the swing from Lila, that's fouled off, looks like into herself, so she steps out, takes a second here. Facing Jackson once again. This one hung up and it goes into the 5-6 hole. And Sydney's going to advance over to third base, and that is a single to left field for Lila.
I bet you will see a stolen base out of Tidball right now with the base running that she's been showing us today. And she does go. They're not going to make a throw on her, and she's going to slide in safely.
First and third runner advances over to second. We've got 2 in scoring position now for the Skeeters. And like you said, Brittany, no contest there. Not even going to try. Right now, the Loggerheads just trying to go at the batter. Not too worried about these base runners. Got quite the comeback to try to put together, just looking for outs.
Artanis with a few strikeouts today. We'll see if she can put bat on ball and score an RBI here. Help her team out a little bit.
You know what? I think just a little bit of contact here, maybe even a drag bunt would do a job. But this one also puts a bat on the ball. Artanis, the first hit of the day, up the middle. Now we've got a rundown. Ball going home, and she is getting under the tag. Two are going to score, one on that rundown. Lila Tidball, she was the one in the rundown. Loggerheads not able to get the throw down and put on the tag. Pashota, well, Tidball went right under her glove.
And Tori, what great base running by Olivia Artanes. Gets all the way to third on that rundown. And they've got another runner ready to score for the Skeeters.
Yeah, watching all of the chaos from the Skeeters, you might have missed Artanis. She's almost so speedy, so crafty that she just kind of snuck over there to third base, put her wheels on. We had talked about she was just looking for some contact, had a couple of strikeouts, but what an at bat there with runners on going back up the middle. And now the runs just keep piling on for the Skeeters. We've got 16-9, and now you're seeing Brooke Pashota going to her battery mate, Sydney Jackson, trying to talk things over. The infield is going to take a conference as well. Just looking to calm things down.
Tori, they've got Bradshaw up at the plate right now, and we have Olivia Artanis at third base, who is actually going to be the run rule run. So Little does a big job and will end this game early if Bradshaw can bring her in.
Bradshaw, the leadoff. Swing and a miss on that one.
Now she did strike out against Jackson, and she had a base on balls, and that's going to do a job. That's going to go deep and off the fence, and that's going to walk it off for the Skeeters. And that'll be a run rule for the Skeeters, finishing the game early against the Loggerheads thanks to Bradshaw. The great ball to the outfield almost went over, Tori, off the top of the wall.
Bradshaw, the leader from App State, finishing this one early in 6. She's going to save her pitchers an inning in this heat. That's what you're looking to do. The Loggerheads started with quite the start from their bats, but not going to be enough. The Skeeters, little by little, every inning, putting it on them, and they're going to walk this one off early. So I'm Tori Basir.
I'm Brittany Purser.
And we have ended this one early on Field 2.